made a video last week about a very serious subject matter. It was about that KKK monument in Selma, Alabama, and how the people in town are upset about it. And there's a number of, rights groups that are upset and all this other stuff. It was a very serious video. I didn't, turn it into like a, let's pick on YouTube whores or let's laugh at fanboy comments type video. It was very serious from beginning to end. I gave you my genuine, honest opinion of the situation, and I thought it was an interesting conversation piece, for lack of a better term. I enjoyed the discussion I had with you guys in the comments section, and I thought everything was, just kept to a tone of tolerance, and people didn't get all internet-y, for lack of a better term, and start being little racial assholes. I really enjoyed that video and the feedback and all that good stuff, but there was one person that started leaving comments. This person, if you've been following my Idiot of the Day section, which I try to post every day, like one of the dumbest comments that I've come across. As a bulletin, I put a link for the video so that you guys can see it. This one person was engaging in just having, not fights, but just commentary back and forth with you guys and myself over that video I made, because he couldn't take the video seriously because of what he saw on the shelf behind me. Well, actually, you can't see the one thing that's being addressed because my head's blocking it, which is the South Park dolls and the Beavis and Butthead little couch thingy that I have over here. Now, before I get too into this, I just want to show you guys the comments. I want to read some of the replies I made to this person and some of the replies that you guys set forth in comments as well. I want to thank everyone for remaining civil and not just, calling him just like, all sorts of different names and epithets and all that other stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at the comments.
And here's the first one that started the whole thing off. Mr. George Washington X says, a social commentary from a guy with Beavis and Butthead and South Park dolls behind him. Come on, who cares what this dunce thinks? Okay, let's see what I replied to that with. Because no one with intelligence can like Beavis and Butthead or South Park. Nice life, you judgmental cunt! Come on, don't be so sensitive. You may be a very intelligent man, but when you're influenced by crass, moronic crap like South Park, how can we, take note that he said we, he's speaking for all of you guys, how can we take your philosophizing seriously, dunce? To which I replied with, you can tell with absolute certainty what my personal influences in life were and the logic or intelligence I possess just by seeing some random items on my bookshelf? I stand by my previous statement. You're a judgmental cunt! And now let's see what some of you guys had to say to this guy. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's crass, but South Park is the most poignant satire on the air because it so unabashedly shows how our culture really is and everything wrong with it. It embodies that phrase, it's funny 'cause it's true, at least most of the time. Judging a man because he watches certain cartoons? Really? That's enough to invalidate whatever he may say and makes it okay for you to just brush off another person as a dunce? That's pretty screwed up. Very well said. Now let's see what else you guys had to say. Wow, you are one shallow, narrow-minded, superficial douchebag. Also, why does the fact of him having South Park and Beavis and Butthead merchandise in the background have anything to do with the subject at hand? That's an excellent point. Let's see what he has to say about that. With no due respect, it has everything to do with his worldview. A guy whose mind was shaped and influenced by moronic, crass entertainment is going to develop moronic, sluggish thought patterns. For generations, people understood that stupid, crass entertainment made kids stupid and disrespectful, but now so many kids have grown up with deviant influences that they don't develop enough self-awareness awareness or common sense to see how simple they are. Does this answer help you understand, shithead? I need to get back on camera.
Folks, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about in this world, and just one of the many things that is wrong with this world. Now, I don't use the word cunt for just anyone. If I'm calling you a cunt, that means I really think you're genuinely retarded. And actually, you know what? Retarded isn't a nice word to use there, because it actually is offensive to people that have actual mental handicaps, that have a quote-unquote excuse for acting this dumb. This guy doesn't appear to be mentally handicapped. Anyway, I saw his comments and I was like, okay, this guy's probably faking. But then I saw, like, you know, the number of replies and everything, and I'm like, no, this guy believes the shit that he's shoveling. And like I said, this is just an example of the mindset that some people have that is so judgmental, so problematic, that they're willing to form a conclusion about you, no matter how coherent you sound, no matter how poignant you sound in your points, no matter how genuine and honest you sound in your tenor, demeanor, the facts that you bring up, the topic in which you want to discuss, all that can be thrown aside by simply something they see in the background. And I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting that people like this exist out there. And not only that, but they attempt to speak for everyone. Because as he said, this George Washington X, as they said in their one comment, that how can we take you seriously? Speaking on behalf of the collective, how can anyone take me seriously if I'm wearing something like right now? I'm wearing a shirt that represents the TV show, the cartoon show, The Simpsons. I have a number of Simpsons DVDs back here. I have season DVDs of Beavis and Butthead and South Park along with the figurines. So don't just attack the dolls that you see behind me. There's a lot more that shows what crude, crass stuff is shaping my mind. Now, here's why I think his logic is truly retarded, and a number of you touched on this, is how do you draw the conclusion that has these shows, these television shows that you find crass and demeaning and in poor taste and whatever else you want to call it, how do you draw the conclusion that shaped and molded my perception of this world at all? Now, it's one thing to say that, but if you do say that, you have to say, I can't believe this molded your perception because as I saw in this video, it truly reflected the show. At any point in that video about that KKK monument, did you see me say anything that would make you believe that my mind has retarded because of a television show I watched? Did I sit there and I go, yeah, that KKK monument sucks. It should be set on fire because fire is cool. If I said something like that, then yes, I would understand this guy's point of view. The fact that I remained calm and I went and I talked about a serious video, that's one of the things that's sticking up my craw about this, because I wanted to make a video about a very serious subject matter and have a very serious discussion with you guys. And the fact that this guy ruled out every single thing I said because of figurines on my shelf behind me? This is the type of guy and this is the type of person that will make a judgment of someone, not based on their character, what they say, what they do, whatever their actions are, but will overrule that simply on something, and I'll just list off a few things: their hairstyle, the type of shirt they're wearing. Now granted, you can make relative distinctions about something like that, because obviously if they come to a job interview and they're in like a Metallica t-shirt, you can be like, oh well, this person doesn't care to be working in it could be a higher end level job, doesn't care to show an image of dress to impress, where an image like that means something. but I'm just making a little video here on the internet. Why would you give a shit about something in the background? Why would you give a shit if my hair was pink or a shirt I was wearing? I was talking about a serious subject. I didn't reflect the shows in any way. I didn't set forth any sort of catchphrases from the TV shows. I didn't talk in a moronic, crass fashion. But this stuff has molded my life. How so? How so? Now, I agree with you. These shows can negatively influence someone's lives. If they emulate them and take them more seriously and adapt them to their real lives, then yes, shows like Beavis and Butthead and South Park can have a negative effect. The only problem is the example of me did not reflect that logic. And on top of that, when does he even know when I started following these shows? For all he knows, I started watching them last year. And a fun fact, I started watching South Park when I was 20 years old. I'd say a lot of my worldviews and perceptions were already more than established by then. And now, this is the type of guy where if he found out more about me, he'd probably be like, oh, well, you know what, I was wrong. This guy actually is pretty goddamn intelligent. Because I could sit here and I could leave my credentials behind me. I could just leave stuff about the jobs I've worked at. I could leave my college degree in the background. I could harp on more things like saying, I got a 4-year degree in 3 years' time. I could tell you what my GPA was in high school and college, and somebody would be like, oh, wow, that's really impressive. But you know why I wouldn't harp on shit like that? And you know why I hate even bringing stuff up like that? Because it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. There could be a person that's never even seen a college in their life that turns on a camera, gives a much more just poignant argument, states facts better than I do, has a complete, just total, just a package of presentation that just absolutely dwarfs what I do and say. Because it doesn't matter where I've been, what I've done, the fact that I live in a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. None of that matters. Because stuff like that doesn't equate to intelligence. Yeah, great, it's a good way of saying, hey, I have more stuff than this guy. I could tell you what my real job is. I could tell you what I make in a year. I could tell you that what I make is 3 times greater than what the average person makes in this country combined. But I won't. Alright, even though I just did. I won't harp on shit like that because it doesn't matter. I want people out there, and I get people out there that are going to constantly come to my videos and say, wow, you're just a troll, you're just a fag that lives in your mother's basement, yada, yada, yada. Because I love people like that being exposed on the internet, that are that superficial, that are that judgmental, and that much of a cunt that they're going to draw a conclusion about someone and tell us that they're dumb, that they're influenced by crass, rude material. Oh my goodness! That they're a lesser person than you or I simply because of something that they see on a bookshelf behind me. Or because I attack this person over that person. Folks, this is the culture of the internet. And this is one of the things that, of why I just can't get enough of exposing people like this. And just pointing and laughing and just sitting there with a smile when everyone comes to my videos that's like a defender of Shane Dawson or Ray William Johnson or the like, and just hate on me because I attack their internet idol. I love that. That's what makes me smile. But you know what makes me smile even more? Is the people that don't know me. The people that draw the conclusions about me. Because I sit back and I look at the life that I have and I go, God damn, this shit is sweet. But I don't need to harp on it. I don't need to plaster it behind me in a video. I don't need to go out to my fireplace room, sit there with like a little sifter of Chianti or some shit, have a book in my hand and a pipe, and talk to you about proper etiquette in the world and serious subject matters while I keep an even monotone tenor to me. Folks, This is one of the things I really enjoy about the internet, is seeing that people out there are genuinely dumb. And as much as this George Washington X would like to believe that, you know, it's all from crass entertainment that's moronic and it's decaying our minds, that he needs to understand that shows like that are watched by many intelligent people. I consider myself to be an intelligent person, mainly because people have told me that. I don't have to inflate my own ego and say, yeah, I'm intelligent because I'm intelligent. It's because people like the videos I do. People like the words I have to say, both in the real world, on the job, and to hear to the masses on the internet. Yeah, there's a bunch of sophomoric little fantards that hate what I do. Take the good with the bad. So, don't judge a book by its cover is, I guess, the lesson that we should take away from this here today. Mr. George Washington X, yes, you are a judgmental cunt. Yes, you're just completely wrong if that's the logic you're going to take into the real world. And, you know, people like you get ahead. People like you get ahead all the time. And it's sad. It's sad because that is the real decay of this country. It's not crass moronic shows like South Park. It's people like you that are willing to pass by a person because they may be more logical, more thought-provoking, more just intelligent than the next person, but you'll push them aside simply because you don't like one little particular thing about them that has nothing to do with their actual intelligence. And that's sad. It really is sad. Because you sound like a person that, you know, you're not leaving, like, you know, just typing "you're wrong" and having grammatical errors out the ass. You appear to be, from what I can see, someone that actually has some intelligence to their head. It's just a shame that some of the logic you have in your life, in your mind, is completely flawed. And you won't realize that. But who am I to tell you how to live your life? You're going to tell me how to live mine, and you're going to tell others that they can't enjoy what I have to do or say because of stuff on my bookshelf. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Live your life however you want to. Be a judgmental prick cunt as much as you want. Just don't bring it to my face. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.